Active and passive voice. A verb is said to be in the active voice when its subject is doing the action. It's said to be in the passive voice when its subject is being acted upon. For example, the boy ate the mango. It is the active voice. The passive will become the mango was eaten by the boy. We should remember the simple rule that while changing a sentence in the active voice into the passive voice, the object of the verb in the active voice will become the subject of the verb in the passive voice, while the subject will become the object in the new sentence. As a general rule, the subject and object, that is, new object, is preceded by the preposition by in sentences. Example, I do not know him is the active voice. The passive will become he is not known to me. Rule. The sentences which have auxiliary helping verb in the active voice, the passive voice will also continue with the similar auxiliary helping verb. Example, we should help the poor is the active voice. The passive will become the poor should be helped. Rule. When a verb in the active voice is followed by the preposition, the latter will continue to follow the verb concerned even in the passive voice. For example, I agree to your proposal is the active voice. The passive will become your proposal is agreed to by me. Second example, why do you laugh at me? The passive will become why am I laughed at by you? Third example, we should not look down upon the poor. The passive will become the poor should not be looked down upon by us. Looked down upon by us. Fourth example, it is no use crying over spilt milk. The passive will become it is no use spilt milk being cried over. Note, the sentence will begin with it is time. The passive form will also start with it is time. For example, if the sentence starts with it is time to say our prayer. The passive will also start with it is time. It is time for our prayer to be said. Might. Sentences containing the helping verbs may, might, should, would, ought to, must, etc. are changed into passive voice by using be between the helping verbs and verb. For example, we should help the poor. The passive will become the poor should be helped by us. Example, you ought to respect your parents. The passive will become your parents are to be respected by you. Note, the imperative sentence should be changed into passive voice by expressing specific purpose. For example, please help me. The passive will become you are requested to help me. Second example, you may go now. You are advised, or you can also tell you are allowed to go now. Do this work. Let the work be done by you. Fourth, do not pluck flowers. The passive will become you are forbidden to pluck flowers. Fifth example, sit quietly. You are ordered to sit quietly. Note, the sentence which begins with such words as they say, I hope, etc. are changed into passive voice in the following manner. For example, they say that God lives in every heart. The passive will become, it is said that God lives in every heart. The second example, I hope that I shall pass the examination. I hope that I shall pass the examination. He gave me this book. I was given this book by him.